I'm your host, Zoran. I have soared through the vastness of intergalactic space, and I see the echoes of the cosmos right there inside the smallest of your cells. Today, we're going to journey into that inner universe to explore the unseen web that literally holds you together, your fascia.
And I want you to really let this sink in. The universe doesn't just stop at the edge of your skin. You are, in truth, a microcosm of the macrocosm, a living, breathing embodiment of this huge, interconnected web of existence. And this isn't just some nice poetry. It's a physiological reality we're about to map out together.
So let's start with a dragon's perspective. We're going to look at the echoes of the cosmos that are happening right inside of you.
Check this out. It's an incredible parallel. When you look out into space, you see this cosmic web, right? A celestial tapestry of galaxies, all connected by these invisible threads of gravity. Now shrink that vision way, way down, and you find the exact same thing inside you, an inner web of living threads, your fascia, connecting every single cell, every organ, every muscle, from your head to your toes.
So this brings us to a huge question, one that mystics and scientists have asked for ages. What is it that's really holding us together? The answer, it turns out, is deeper than bone and even deeper than muscle. What's fascinating is that our modern science is really just now starting to prove what ancient wisdom knew all along. The Taoists talked about Qi, the sages of India described prana. They couldn't see it under a microscope, but they sensed this network. They understood the body as this dynamic, flowing, interconnected whole. Okay, so we've got this idea of an inner web, but how do we actually map it? That brings us to our next section, mapping the human web, and the pioneers who first started charting this incredible inner territory. In this work, it's not just some abstract theory. It's a lineage. It's a deeply personal craft, passed down with incredible dedication. Just listen to this promise from Emmett Hutchins to Ida Rolf, the founder of Rolfing, as she was on her deathbed, to carry her work forward in its purest form. That's a lineage of hands-on wisdom right there. So how did Dr. Rolf do it? Well, she developed this amazing roadmap, this systematic journey to reorganize the fascial web called the 10 series. It's a process. It starts on the outside, freeing up what she called the sleeves of the body, the tissues right under the skin. Then you go deeper, working on the core structures around the pelvis and spine. And finally, the last few sessions are all about integrating everything, harmonizing the entire body so it works as one cohesive, balanced unit. And this is so important to get. This work isn't just about, getting rid of knots or releasing tension. It's about completely reorganizing your body to work with gravity, not fight against it. And it's all built on these 3 key principles. Verticality, so your body lines up with gravity's pull. Support, building a strong foundation from your feet up. And balance. And we're talking about a dynamic, fluid equilibrium, not some stiff, rigid posture.
All right, we've talked about the pioneers. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts, the actual science that explains how this living web can even exist. Welcome to the science of tensegrity.
And the key, the absolute game changer, is this principle called tensegrity. Now, I want you to forget everything you learned about your skeleton being like a stack of blocks. That's not how it works. Instead, picture your bones as these floating struts held in place by a continuous web of tension, which is your fascia. This is what makes your body so incredibly strong, yet at the same time light and unbelievably resilient. And if we zoom in way down to the microscopic level, this web is like a symphony of different parts. You've got collagen fibers, which are like the high tensile steel cables of a suspension bridge, given its strength. Then there's elastin, which is like the stretchy threads of a spider web, giving it recoil. And all of this is floating in something called the ground substance, a gel-like fluid that lubricates everything and allows the cells to communicate. It really is like the fluid interstellar medium of your body. Okay, but this web isn't just some inert structural material. It's alive. And that brings us to maybe the most mind-blowing part. This is a web that feels. In fact, it's your body's richest sensory organ. Get ready for this number, because it's a big one. Your fascia contains up to 10 times more sensory nerve endings than your muscles do. Think about that for a second. All those times you thought you had muscle pain? Well, it's very, very likely that what you were actually feeling was your fascial web crying out in distress.
And this is why it's so crucial. Fascia isn't some separate layer you can just peel off. It is the unifying fabric. Your nerves literally weave through it to send signals. Your blood vessels are held in place by it. Your entire lymphatic system, which drains waste, totally depends on the healthy movement of your fascia. It's the missing link that connects everything.
So, you know those painful knots we all talk about? The ones that just won't seem to go away? Where do they actually come from? Well, they come from both physical and emotional stress. A physical trauma, or just sitting in a desk all day, can cause those fascial fibers to get tangled and glued together. But so can chronic stress and anxiety. Those unresolved emotions create very real, physical patterns of tension that get held in that same web. The body really does keep the score. And fascia, well, fascia is the scorecard.
Okay, so we've journeyed through the cosmos and deep inside the body. Now for the most important part. What can you actually do about it? How can you tend to this inner universe? Let's talk about nourishing your inner web.
The key to a healthy web is balance. It's not about doing just one thing perfectly. It's about weaving together a bunch of good habits. Things like mindful movement, think yoga or Pilates, staying hydrated, eating an anti-inflammatory diet, getting good sleep, and of course, managing your stress. Each one of these things nourishes the web in its own unique way. And let's just take one of those. Hydration. The difference it makes is, well, it's night and day. Look at this. When your fascia is dehydrated, it gets stiff and sticky. The fibers can't glide past each other. But when it's hydrated, it's supple, it's smooth. There's low stiffness and high glide. The difference between feeling stuck and feeling fluid can literally be a glass of water. So here's your toolkit. 3 simple things you can start doing, like today, to weave a healthier web. First, your diet. Think anti-inflammatory foods, lots of vitamin C, and things like bone broth that are rich in collagen. Second, movement. But not just any movement. Varied, mindful movement like yoga or Tai Chi that really gets into the tissues. And third, use simple self-care tools. Foam rollers, massage balls, these things are great for doing your own myofascial release.
So let's bring it all back home. The web endures. You are an integral part of this web. You're a living thread in this grand tapestry of existence, a completely unique and irreplaceable expression of the universe's creativity. Your inner world and the outer cosmos, they are one and the same.
And so I'll leave you with this final thought. You are a thread, a living, breathing part of this incredible cosmic tapestry. The only question is, how are you going to choose to weave yours?